What is up, YouTube? I am Ollie from Channel 40k Jersey, and if you're tuning in right now, hopefully you will have watched the first part of this video, which is me showing you the Magic the Gathering Dragon's Maze Fat Pack. Already I've shown you a Izzet, not an Izzet, a Dimir deck with the little deck box there, a Gruul and Golgari deck, and one of my favourite decks, my Silencia deck as well, which features one of my favourite kind of cards, Imara Tandris. I've been talking about the books. They're about to bring out the new one, hopefully tomorrow, because it is the 12th of May tomorrow, which they're bringing it out on Android, on iPad, and stuff like that. So that should be really good. Next, I'm going to show you my one of my favourite decks. I mean, my Silencia is still at my number one. This one is kind of an angelic and Azorius deck. So I've got lots of. I'm going to split it up in two because it's got deck protectors on. I've got the new Magic the Gathering deck protectors. These are not Azorius, obviously, but these are Gruul ones with Uruk Thar or something like that. Yeah, Uruk Thar, which is the kind of the planeswalker or leader, if you want, of the Gruul kind of clan. So I'm just going to run you through a couple of cards here. I based my deck this deck anyway, really around the Gold Knight Redeemer, not basically around her, basically around Angels, and also some of the other cards that come up in the Dragon's Maze series. So I've got a card here which is a 3/6 elemental, and it's called Maze Sentinel. Obviously the name Maze tells you that it's from Dragon's Maze, and it's basically a big Abraham looking kind of statue that that stops people getting past it. I also have a card here which is from the Return to Ravnica kind of packs here, which is the Palisade Giant. It's basically a defender. It's got a pretty nifty rule that any damage that gets thrown at you goes straight to this, and it's got a pretty hefty defense, which is 7, compared to its attack, which is 2. But it's not a defender, so it still can attack. I'll show you an angel here, which is called Seraph of Dawn. It's another angel kind of card. It is a 2/4, I think it is, yeah, and it's got flying and lifelink. So any damage that you deal, you get the amount of life points. Like if you don't do 2 damage, you get 2 damage. You get 2 life given to you. Sorry. I'll show you one of my mythic rares for this deck. It's called Bruna, the Light of Alabaster, which is a legendary creature, which is an angel. The mana cost is not that bad, actually. It is 1 island mana and 2 plains mana with 3 other different mana, which is very, very good. It's quite cheap for angel. I'll keep on going. Let's see. I have another angel here, which is called Sarah Angel. Serra, which is a 4/4, and a couple of the angelic cards are pretty high, but Sarah Angel does top one of them. And there's a couple of cards that you can use for Sarah Angel to kind of bump it up to become really a 9/9, which is a pretty hefty kind of attack and defense. Then I've also got another angel here. Yeah, you know, more angels. It's called Archangel. It's a 5/5, and it's a silver, so just a rare, you know. So there it is. Let's see. Liev Sky Knight, which is an Azorius, but it's a human knight on basically a griffin there, which is called Liev Sky Knight. I know you can't read these, unfortunately. So let's see what else I have here. I have a new Azorius Guildgate, because this is an Azorius deck, so you can either get a plains or a island from this. Let's see what else we've got. I'm just gonna kind of scan through. So that's finished half of that first deck, and I will find some more cards in here now. This is another one of my mythic rares for this deck. It's called Council of the Absolute. It's an Azorius card. It's a mythic rare. and it's a 2/4. It's got some pretty hefty effects, but it's a pretty cool card as well. It's got about three priests, or whatever you want to call them, in big floating chairs in a circle. So that's pretty cool. Let's see what else we've got in here. We've got another Archangel, so that's always good. Let's see what else. What have we got here? Dramatic Rescue. Return a creature to its owner's hand and you gain 2 life. Then you've also got Riot Control, which is one of my favourite cards. It's a common card. It's right there. It's basically a griffin kind of on fire. You gain 1 life for each creature that your opponents control, and then you also prevent all damage that would be dealt this turn. So that means you basically get a life, and then you don't get hit, which is always good. And that's pretty much it. Then I've also got Thrabian Sentry, which basically means it's sort of like it's a little commander there, but it's like the card I showed you before, the Scorned Villager. If you don't play any spells or anything like that the turn that you just passed, then it turns into a stronger monster, or in this case an angry kind of crowd. Now I'm going to move on to the Izzet deck I have. It's in its fundamental stages, whereas all the other decks I've thought them through. But this is also something new that came with all the Dragon's Maze stuff. I bought this separately. It's a Ralzarek Izzet deck box. I'm going to do the same for the Silencia, for the Dimir, for the Azorius. I'm going to get the different deck boxes because they come with the little Planeswalker on the front and then the symbol on the side, and they're pretty strong deck boxes. This is one of my favourite decks because it has 2 of my favourite characters in it. I got both of these really good cards in a pack, but different packs, of course. Otherwise, that would have been a little bit weird and questionably fair. So I'll just go straight to the cards that I'm really interested in. I've got this gold here, which is very uncommon, which is a rare. It's called Mism Mortars. It's basically a load of mortars flying up and then being redirected into someone else. But basically, this thing says Mism Mortars deals 4 damage to a target creature that you don't control. So if the guy doesn't have any creatures on the field, that 4 damage goes directly to him. So let's just scan through again. We'll kind of find some of the Izzet cards. Most of these cards are quite steampunky. I mean, I've got one of the cards, the Nivik Cyclops here. Kind of looks like the thing from BioShock, which is pretty cool. I'm a big fan of BioShock. So that's the Nivik Cyclops there, which is Defender because it's got 4 defense. Then I have here the Mythic Rare Planeswalker Ralzarek, which I got in a pack, which I'm really happy with because that's the first Planeswalker I've ever had, and it's pretty good to have the Planeswalker from the Fat Pack. I didn't get it from the boosters from the Fat Pack, but there's Ralzarek and there's the Dragon's Maze Fat Pack. But I just got it in a random pack. I mean, I bought it and I was pretty happy with it because it's really good. So there he is. I'll just give you another close up. There's Ralzarek. And then we also have the kind of, the image of the Izzet guild is Niv Mizzet, which is Niv Mizzet Draconius, which is the dragon human wizard kind of thing. And he's another mythic rare. Quite expensive, to be honest. That's mana-wise. I don't know how much he'd actually be worth, but I'm sure he's worth some money. I mean, I kind of pitied my friend a little bit. Jack, I got another Niv Mizzet. I didn't really need it. I could have sold it, but I kind of gave it to him a little bit, which was pretty good. But I'm pretty sure he was chuffed. I'm going to show you some more of the Izzet, creatures here. I've got the Hypersonic Dragon, which is a gold. It's another Izzet Dragon, which is a 4/4. I have the Niv Magus Elemental, which it has it's only a I think it's a 1/2 1 attack, 2 defense, but it's very cheap. It's just 1 mana cost, either fire or water. Saying that, every time that a sorcery is played, that exile an instant or a sorcery that you control, you put 2 1/1 counters, so +1 attack, +1 defense. So, you know, if you exile 2, you're looking at a pretty hefty attack and defense there. So then we go on to Goblin Electromancer, which is another Izzet card, and the Goblin Electromancer is a 2/2, and it's very cheap as well, just 2 mana, a fire and a water. It says any instant or sorcery that you cost 1 mana less than it would originally cost because he's on the field. I have another Izzet one here that's kind of getting boring. I have a Flux Charger there, which is a big angel-looking thing. It's for flying. It's a pretty good card. It's got really hefty defense. It's just basically a creature, but it doesn't really specify. It's just called weird. And then a Goblin Test Pilot, which is pretty crazy. It's just a goblin flying around with no eyes. So those are basically the decks that I have at the moment. I will be getting new deck protectors and the new deck boxes for every single deck, so they have the specific guild. I'm just gonna basically, in the future, I will definitely be opening packs on video for you to show you what I get. See if I'm lucky and get some really good cards. Maybe I'll be able to sell these cards. I've just got a couple more to show you. They're not really any decks yet because I'm not big into Simic. But these are 2 Simic cards. I have the Protogenic Mimic, which is a creature shapeshifter. It's a 0/0, but as soon as it enters the field, imagine if the guy has a really, really strong dragon or anything. As soon as this comes on, this imitates the creature that you want on the field. So you can imitate any creature that's on the field, which is pretty good. So if you've got a 7/7 on the field or a 9/9, that becomes the 9/9. So and it has all the effects and everything that the other card does. What else have we got? Voral of the Hulkade, which is the kind of the front man of the Simic. He's a legendary creature and a human Melfork. I'm not exactly sure what a Melfork is. I'll search it, but I'm not sure what a Melfork is. It's a 1/4, but it's got some pretty neat effects. So that's pretty much it for the Fat Pack. I'm just going to sign off now, and thanks for watching. If you have watched, you'd know if you've watched. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and thanks for watching.